Just you? The young man in embroidered clothes made his move. He sent out a pitch-black palm print, which made the ancestor of Technique's heart palpitate. He couldn't be bothered to chase after Kong Ji. The ancestor of Technique slashed out with all his strength, and a bright sword light burst out. Boom! With a deafening boom, the ancestor of Technique's sword radiance hit the black palm print. The sword radiance couldn't withstand it and collapsed under a shock. The palm print didn't stop and continued to attack the ancestor of Technique. The ancestor of Technique used his sword to block, but he was sent flying thousands of miles away by the palm print. He spat out a mouthful of blood and his face was extremely pale. What a terrifying strength! Is this the fighting strength of the inner disciples of the unique Devil Academy? The ancestor of Technique thought to himself, and a hint of helplessness appeared in his eyes. This young man in embroidered clothes had a cultivation as high as stage 6 True G. D realm. Moreover, his fighting power was extremely powerful, far from what Kong Ji and the like could compare to. Even if they were at the same level, the ancestor of Technique wasn't confident that he could defeat this person. General, the people of the righteous army revealed looks of despair. Powerful. The inner sanctum disciple of the unique Devil Academy is indeed powerful. Ming, Kong Ji roared madly in his heart. His eyes were extremely ferocious. Your strength is not bad. It's not easy to have someone like you in the chaotic astral river. How about this? Hand over your secret technique. Also, in the future, become my dog and work for me. If you do that, I can spare your life. The young man in embroidered clothes had his hands behind his back and looked down at the ancestor of Technique with an arrogant expression. Haha. The ancestor of Technique laughed heartily. If you want to kill me, then kill me. If you want me to bow down and become your dog, dream on. Also, if you want my secret technique, dream on. Since you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish. The young man's face turned cold. Divine power circulated all over his body, and cold killing intent filled the air. At the same time, a battle blade as black as ink appeared in his hand. Buzz! A terrifying blade light flashed and slashed at the ancestor of Technique. The ancestor of Technique used all his strength to block with his sword. Clang! The sword light dissipated. The ancestor of Technique grunted and flew thousands of miles away. He spat out a few mouthfuls of blood. His body was covered in small knife wounds. The ancestor of Technique was no match for the young man in embroidered clothes. The difference in cultivation was too great. General, the faces of the righteous army turned pale with fright. Kong Ji and the others were naturally overjoyed. You really don't know your place if you want to fight against senior brother Luo. On the side, Kong Long, Sidu Shao, and the others sneered. I'll ask you one more time. Are you going to hand over the secret technique or not? The young man in embroidered clothes asked again. If you want to kill me, then kill me. If you want the secret art, then dream on. The ancestor of Technique sneered. You're looking for death, dark demon divine blade. The young man was furious. His divine power burst forth, and all the power in his body gathered to form a terrifying blade light that charged toward the ancestor of Technique. In his rage, the young man in embroidered clothes had already used his full power for this blade. The power was extremely shocking. An ordinary stage 5 True G. D would have been killed in one blade. The terrifying blade light pressed down on the ancestor of Technique. The ancestor of Technique would definitely not be able to withstand this blade and would die under it. General, the people of the righteous army cried out. If you die, then die. The ancestor of Technique let out a long roar and used all his strength. Even if he was going to die, he would die brilliantly and die in battle. He would not just wait helplessly for death. Boom, boom, boom. However, at this moment, a violent boom came from the depths of the sky. Explosions kept ringing out in the air. Many people looked up subconsciously. That is, a starship. What a beautiful starship. What kind of starship is this? It actually charged into the atmosphere. Many people had different thoughts. An ordinary person would stop after entering the atmosphere on an interplanetary warship. However, this interplanetary warship didn't stop at all. It was heading straight for the headquarters of the Righteous Sky Army at an extremely fast speed. The young man in embroidered clothes was also stunned, because he realized that the Starry Sky battleship was actually charging toward him. His heart skipped a beat and he changed the direction of his blade. Instead of slashing at the ancestor of technique, he slashed at the Starry Sky battleship. Boom. The blade light hit the interplanetary warship, but the warship was not damaged at all. On the other hand, the young man in the brocade robe was forced back and almost spat out a mouthful of blood. The interplanetary warship also stopped in the air. Many people looked at the interplanetary warship, especially the people of the Righteous Army, with a hint of hope in their eyes. It was obvious that the starship was heading towards the young man. Did they come to help? Who is it? Get out here. The young man in embroidered clothes squinted his eyes and shouted angrily. Gotcha. The door of the starship opened and a figure walked out. Lu Ming, it's you. The first one to shout was none other than Kong Long. He had been thinking about taking revenge on Lu Ming every day. Naturally, he had a deep impression of Lu Ming and could recognize him at a glance. Lu Ming, it's him. Lu Ming is back. Why is it him? Did he bring the experts from the Kong Xian sect? The people from the Righteous Army were stunned. Then, the hope in their eyes intensified. They hoped that Lu Ming had brought the powerhouses from the Kong Xian sect. Then they might be saved today. It's this brat, Kong Ji, Sido Haonan, and the others' eyes also emitted a cold light. Lu Ming, the ancestor of technique, was also shocked. Boy, so you're Lu Ming. The young man in embroidered clothes looked at Lu Ming with a cold gaze. He had heard of Lu Ming's name before. First of all, Lu Ming had come in first in the previous Qin Tian 13 clan assessment. He had also heard Kong Ji, Sidu Xiao, and Sidu Feng mention him before. Lu Ming. The real one. Lu Ming smiled faintly and swept his gaze across the entire place. He secretly heaved a sigh of relief when he realized that everyone was fine. They had finally arrived. Who else from Kong Xian sect has come? Come out. Today, the Yimo Academy is doing something. Let's see who dares to stop us. The young man in embroidered clothes said coldly. His gaze skipped Lu Ming and looked at the door of the interplanetary warship. He did not take Lu Ming seriously at all. He was just a new disciple of the Kong Xian sect. He could kill him with one finger. Obviously, he had no idea about Lu Ming's performance in the Ice Soul clan. Otherwise, he would not have been so arrogant. Don't worry, I'm alone today. There's no one else. Lu Ming smiled faintly. He waved his hand and kept the interplanetary warship. What? Lu Ming is alone. This is terrible. Hearing this, the faces of the Righteous Army soldiers changed. They had some hope, but it turned into despair. Lu Ming was alone. What could he do? He couldn't change the outcome. Not good. The expressions of the ancestral dragon, the tan longhorn beetle, and the others also changed drastically. They were extremely worried. Haha, this kid actually came alone. He's really courting death. That's good. Today is the perfect day to get rid of him. It's killing two birds with one stone. I don't have to find a chance to kill him in the future. The heavens are really helping me. Kong Ji, Kong Long, Sida Haonan, and the rest laughed out loud in their hearts. They were extremely happy. At first, Lu Ming had joined the Kong Xian sect. His talent was also extremely shocking, which made them afraid. They had thought that after they had destroyed the Righteous Army, they would find a way to kill Lu Ming and get rid of future trouble. They did not expect Lu Ming to deliver himself to them. There was no reason for them to not be happy. One word, kill, idiot, ha. Kong Ji, Kong Long, Sida Haonan, and the rest laughed out loud in their hearts. They looked at Lu Ming as if he was an idiot. Lu Ming, hurry up and leave, the ancestor of technique shouted. Go. Where do you think you're going? Since you're here, don't leave. Kong Ji laughed coldly. With a flash, he, Sida Haonan, and the rest surrounded Lu Ming. They could tell that Lu Ming's Starry Sky warship was very advanced. Otherwise, he would not have been able to block the attack of the young man in embroidered clothes. Therefore, they blocked Lu Ming's escape route so that he would not take out the Starry Sky warship and escape. Did I say I was going to escape? Lu Ming smiled faintly, his expression calm. The ancestor of technique, the ancestral dragon, and the others were slightly stunned. They knew Lu Ming very well and knew that he was not a rash person. He was so calm at the moment. Could he have something to rely on? Kid, he'll send you on your way. Emokan, the supreme elder of the underworld hall, shouted and charged at Lu Ming. The powerful attack of a fourth-stage Truji. Oh, D was like a wave, crushing toward Lu Ming. Not good. The ancestor of technique, ancestral dragon, and the others were all shocked. Fortunately, Lu Ming's parents, Chiu Yu, and the rest were hidden in a secret place due to their low cultivation levels. They did not witness this scene. Otherwise, they would have been scared to death. Die. Emokan sneered. You're the one who's going to die. Lu Ming's cold voice was heard. Suddenly, a spear's gleam burst out and pierced towards the baldacchino at an extremely fast speed. All of Emokan's attacks and defenses were as fragile as tofu in front of Lu Ming. The spear's gleam pierced through Emokan's glabella, leaving a hole that was clear from the front and back. Baldacan's eyes were wide open. He could not believe what was happening in front of him. Then, with a swoosh, his body fell to the ground and he was no longer breathing. He's really weak, Lu Ming muttered. Although they were all at the fourth stage Truji, D realm, Emokan's combat strength was much weaker than in High, Lu Chang and the rest. With Lu Ming's current combat strength, he could kill them with a wave of his hand. How is that possible? Kong Ji, Sidahounen, and the others' eyes were wide open as if they had seen a ghost. Lu Ming actually killed the baldacchino in one move? CSI. They gasped and felt cold all over. They broke out in a cold sweat and could not help but retreat, putting some distance between them and Lu Ming. They were secretly glad that they weren't the ones who had attacked just now. Otherwise, they would have been dead. Impossible, this is impossible. The ones who were the most shocked were Kong Ji, Situ Xiao, and Situ Feng. They had all fought with Lu Ming before and were well aware of his cultivation and combat strength. But just now, Lu Ming actually killed Emokan casually. This was an existence at the fourth stage of Truji. Lu Ming could actually kill a fourth stage Truji. The existence? How many years had it been? Their hearts trembled, and they were filled with jealousy. Gulp. The ancestor of technique, ancestral dragon, Tan Longhorn and the others, as well as the people of the righteous army, couldn't help but swallow their saliva. They were tongue-tied and completely speechless. Clearly, Lu Ming's move earlier had shocked everyone. Didn't you all want to kill me? Why are you retreating so quickly? Lu Ming's gaze swept towards Kong Ji and the rest as he spoke indifferently. When Lu Ming's gaze swept across them, Kong Ji and the rest shivered. Kid, you have some combat strength. However, you are not arrogant enough in front of me. At this moment, the young man in embroidered clothes spoke. Divine power gushed out of his body, exuding a powerful aura that pressed down on Lu Ming. We'll know if it's enough after we fight. However, once you do, you have to be prepared that he'll be killed. Lu Ming turned to look at the young man in embroidered clothes and said coldly, I'm prepared to be killed by you. What a joke. A mere first-stage Truji. D wants to kill me? The young man's eyes were filled with a dense forest. He could not be bothered to waste his breath on Lu Ming. A terrifying saber light slashed at Lu Ming, trying to cut him in half. Buzz. The long spear in Lu Ming's hands trembled and swept out. The spear radiance was as thick as a mountain range, and it collided with the young man's saber radiance. Boom. With a loud boom, the blade light shook violently and then collapsed. The spear light did not stop and continued to sweep toward the young man in embroidered clothes. How is that possible? The young man in embroidered clothes roared in his heart. His eyes were filled with disbelief. Then he exploded with all his strength to resist Lu Ming's attack. However, when the spear ray pressed down, the young man in embroidered clothes screamed and his body flew out like a cannonball. He spat out large mouthfuls of blood. Many people rubbed their eyes, thinking that they had seen wrong. The young man in embroidered clothes was an inner disciple of the unique Devil Academy. The strength that he had just displayed was simply astonishing. However, at this moment, he seemed to be unable to withstand a single blow from Lu Ming and was completely crushed. Especially Kang Ji, Sidahunan and the rest, they were almost scared to death. The people of the righteous army were ecstatic. Freak, freak. The person from the heaven realm muttered to himself. He was extremely shocked. Previously, some people felt that although Lu Ming could create miracles in the heaven realm and was the strongest prodigy in the history of the heaven realm, it would be difficult for him to rise up in the primeval universe. He would be lost in the crowd. However, they realized that they were wrong. They were very wrong. Monstrous, he was a monstrous wherever he went. Lu Ming could create miracles in the heaven realm and he could do the same in the primeval universe. They understood that Lu Ming's current achievements had far exceeded their imagination. This rate of improvement is really... The ancestor of technique's heart was also in turmoil and he could not calm down. Lu Ming had only joined the Kong Xian sect for a few decades. What did a few decades mean to AG? However, Lu Ming had achieved shocking results. You want to kill me with just this bit of strength? Lu Ming's cold voice was heard again. Once again, he swept his spear at the young man in embroidered clothes. Boom. This time, the young man in embroidered clothes was even more miserable. His body had been shattered, leaving only his head floating in the air. He was extremely frightened. I'll send you on your way, Lu Ming said coldly. No, don't. You can't kill me. I am an inner sect disciple of the unique Devil Academy. If you kill me, you will also die. The young man in embroidered clothes roared, hoping to use the unique Devil Academy to intimidate Lu Ming. Inner sect disciple of the unique Devil Academy? I'm sorry, I killed a bunch of them a while ago. Lu Ming pursed his lips. Although the luxuriously dressed youth's cultivation had reached the 6th stage of true G, O, D realm, one stage higher than Lu Shankai's, his combat strength was not as good as Lu Shankai's. Naturally, he was completely crushed by Lu Ming. Let's go, sky-breaking. Lu Ming cast the first move of the 3 apocalyptic strikes, breaking through the air. A dazzling spear ray burst out and flashed past. Bang! The young man's head exploded, and his body and soul were destroyed. Run, run! Kang Ji, Sidahunan, Kang Long, Sidu Shao and the rest were almost scared to death. Lu Ming was extremely audacious. He even dared to kill the inner disciples of the unique Devil Academy. If they stayed, they would definitely die. They did not dare to stay any longer and fled frantically. An old friend got into trouble. How could Lu Ming let Kang Ji and the rest escape? Kill! Lu Ming shouted coldly and used the 9 heavenly Kuan-Peng technique. His body flashed and he moved like a Kuan-Peng. At the same time, the long spear in his hand continued to stab. Bush, bush, bush. Rays of spear light pierced towards Kang Ji, Sidahunan, Sanguine Red Guild leader and the rest. No, no, Kang Ji, Sidahunan, and the rest were so scared that they almost peed their pants. They screamed madly and tried to block the attacks as they fled. However, with their cultivation, they were completely vulnerable in front of Lu Ming. As the spear radiance flew past, they were all pierced and died on the spot. Kang Ji, Sidahunan, the master of the Y Red Society and the rest, a total of 7 to 8 stage 4 true G, O, D experts were killed by Lu Ming in one move. Kill. Attack together. The ancestor of technique roared, his voice reverberating through the entire area. Kill, kill, kill. Kill all these RTS. The people of the righteous army also charged out and attacked the people of the Serene Darkness Palace and the Walkabout sect. Although the powers like the Serene Palace and the Walkabout sect were much stronger than the righteous army, they had lost all their morale. All they knew was to flee, and they couldn't form any combat power at all. Instead, they were being slaughtered by the righteous army, resulting in countless deaths and injuries. Lu Ming did not stop and charged towards Kang Long, Sidu Shao, and Sidu Feng. Lu Ming, you'll die. Terrible death. Kang Long and the rest knew that they would not be able to survive today. They cursed madly, but before they could finish their words, Lu Ming had shot them dead. Following that, Lu Ming charged towards the true G, D powerhouses of the major forces. Wherever Lu Ming pass, said by real DS would be killed one by one. With a sweep of his spear, a large number of experts would be blasted apart. We surrender, we surrender. We are willing to surrender. The people from the major factions all shouted and raised their hands in surrender. We won't kill those who surrender, but they must swear on their life source that they will forever be loyal to the righteous army. Lu Ming shouted, I swear, I swear. Immediately, a large number of people swore their loyalty to the righteous army. The killing had stopped, and the higher-ups of the Yuluo Palace, Freedom Sect, and the other sects had either died or surrendered. All of them belonged to the righteous army. Many people looked at Lu Ming with complicated expressions. It had only been a short while since Lu Ming appeared. The situation that they were bound to lose had been reversed in an instant. Lu Ming, I can't believe that your cultivation has already reached such a level in just a few decades. The ancestor of technique flew over and smiled. I was just lucky. Lu Ming said humbly. Lu Ming had nothing else to do next. The ancestor of technique began to send people from the righteous army to take over the territories controlled by the Nether Hall, Carefree Sect, and other forces. The strength of the righteous army would definitely soar. At that moment, Lu Ming had already met with the ancestral dragon, the Tan Longhorn Beetle, and the others. The ancestral dragon, the Tan Longhorn Beetle, and the others naturally had extremely complicated feelings. They knew that Lu Ming, a rising star in the heaven realm, had already left them far behind. Senior, these things are for you. Lu Ming took out some storage rings and said them to Zhu Long and the rest. There were some cultivation resources inside that were suitable for virtual D-level cultivation. Senior, where are my parents? Lu Ming asked. They're behind us. Come with us. Zhu Long and the rest brought Lu Ming to the back mountain of the righteous army. They saw Lu Yuntian, Xiu Yu, Lu Shenhuang and the rest. In the primal universe, everyone's cultivation had made great progress. Lu Yuntian and Li Ping's cultivation base had actually reached the Great Emperor realm. As for Xiu Yu, her cultivation base had already reached the Demi-G D realm. The one who progressed the fastest was actually Lu Shenhuang. He had already reached the first level of ethereal D realm. It had only been a few decades. Lu Shenhuang had only stayed on the true heaven star to cultivate and did not have any fortuitous encounters. Yet, he had already become D, which was far beyond Lu Ming's expectations. Lu Shenhuang's talent was much stronger than he had imagined. Divine Wilderness, Xiu Yu, follow me. Lu Ming said. He brought Xiu Yu and Lu Shenhuang to the peak of a mountain. There was no one else there. Chiyu, Divine Wilderness, I will now teach you a mystical technique. However, this mystical technique is extremely important. You must not reveal it. Other than the two of you, you cannot teach it to anyone else. Especially you, Divine Wilderness. You cannot even teach Qi. Do you understand? Lu Ming warned seriously. He planned to pass the heaven and earth thousand Dao arts to Qiu Yu and Lu Shenhuang. With their talents, they would definitely be able to achieve something. It was not impossible for them to cultivate to the level of a ruler. Especially for Lu Shenhuang, the chances were very high. However, the Qian Kun thousand Dao arts was mysterious and unpredictable. If it were to spread, it would probably cause a huge wave. When that time came, they would all be in danger. Yes, father. Yes, young master. Lu Shenhuang and Qiu Yu nodded their heads. After that, Lu Ming said the Universe Thousand Dao mantra to Qiu Yu and Lu Shenhuang. Chapter 2758 Ancient Path of Stars. How did this happen? Lu Ming's heart clenched and his expression turned ugly. He was very worried that Mulan, Huang Ling, and the rest would be in danger. Mulan, of course, he knew about Huang Ling's feelings for him. However, the two women were also stubborn people. They must have seen that Lu Ming's cultivation level was getting higher and higher. They did not want to be left behind too much. Hence, they went out to take risks and train. When did this happen? Chiu Yu also looked anxious. She had never heard of this before. About half a year ago. During this period of time, we have been fighting, so we didn't say anything. We were planning to report to the ancestor of technique after this and let him send experts to search. Longchen said. Which forest did they go to? Lu Ming asked. It's the perpetual night forest, Longchen said. The perpetual night forest. Lu Ming took out a jade talisman. This jade talisman was a map of true heaven star. Lu Ming had a map of the true heaven star long ago. He infused his divine power into the jade talisman and a map appeared in the air. It was the complete map of the true heaven star. The perpetual night forest is here, Longchen pointed at a place on the map. All right. Lu Ming nodded and leaped into the air. He cast the 9 heavenly Kuan Pring technique and rushed toward the forest of perpetual night at an astonishing speed. The perpetual night forest was a famous place on the true sky star. There were many wild beasts in this place, but their levels weren't high. It was suitable for warriors under the ethereal G.O.D. realm to train and gain experience. Huang Ling and Mulan had gone missing here for training. Lu Ming's speed was extremely fast. Divine energy condensed into a Kuan Peng on the surface of his body. With a flap of its wings, he could travel 90,000 miles. Not long after, Lu Ming arrived at the perpetual night forest. Without any hesitation, Lu Ming dashed into the perpetual night forest. He spread his spiritual sense and scanned the surroundings. The perpetual night forest was huge, but with Lu Ming's speed, he flew back and forth in no time. The wild beasts in the forest felt Lu Ming's aura and all hid in fear, not daring to show themselves. Very soon, Lu Ming had searched the entire perpetual night forest and even the surrounding area, but he could not find any traces of Mulan and Huang Ling. How could this be? Could it be that they have already died in the mouths of the wild beasts? At the thought of this, Lu Ming's heart trembled. He could not accept this outcome. It won't. Search again. Lu Ming gritted his teeth and continued to search more carefully. A few hours later, Lu Ming's expression suddenly changed. He had a discovery. In a flash, Lu Ming dashed down the perpetual night forest and landed beside an ancient altar. This altar was indeed very ancient. It was hard to tell what era it was from. It was cast in gray mud and there were ancient runes on it. Most importantly, Lu Ming could sense Mulan's and Huang Ling's auras on the altar. What kind of altar is this? Lu Ming sized it up carefully. Stop looking. This is a teleportation platform. In his sea of consciousness, the voice of the Quant. 1. Thai formula sounded. A teleportation formation? How come it's like this? Lu Ming was surprised. It was not like he had not seen a teleportation platform before. The current teleportation platform was not like this. Moreover, it was cast with gray mud and it looked too simple. It's normal that you don't recognize it. This is a very ancient teleportation platform. It could even be said to be one of the earliest teleportation platforms. These teleportation platforms are very rare nowadays. Furthermore, this teleportation platform is already damaged. The Quant. 1. Thai formula said. It's damaged? That's right. If I'm not wrong, your 2 friends must have been teleported away from this teleportation platform. The Quant. 1. Thai formula said. Lu Ming felt slightly more at ease when he heard this. Mulan and Feng Ling had only been teleported away, which meant that they were still alive. Do you know where this transportation formation leads to? Also, can this platform be repaired? Lu Ming asked again. It can't be repaired. In the world today, there are only a few people who can repair this kind of ancient platform. Furthermore, it's very difficult to know where they were transported to. There's a high possibility that they've stepped on an ancient path of stars. The Quant. 1. Thai formula said. The ancient path of stars? Lu Ming was puzzled. The ancient path of stars was created by the ancestors of the primal universe. I wonder where it leads to? Whoever steps on it may encounter great danger, but it's also possible for them to obtain great fortune. Everything depends on their own fortune. The Quant. 1. Thai formula said. I see. Lu Ming heaved a long sigh. He was helpless. Everything would depend on Mulan, Huang Ling, and the others' own luck. There was nothing he could do to help. Lu Ming returned to the righteous army headquarters with a heavy heart. He told Xiao Yu, Long Chen, and the rest about what had happened. Long Chen and the rest sighed. They did not expect to encounter such a situation. Following that, Lu Ming sat in the righteous Sky Army headquarters and guided Lu Shenhuang, Xiao Yu, and his disciples in their cultivation. His few disciples, Lu Xiangxiang and Ouyang Moli, had also made rapid progress in their cultivation and displayed great talent. In fact, those who could rise up in small kiliacosm were all talented. Once they came to the primal universe, they would explode. Lu Ming planned to bring Lu Xiangxiang, Ouyang Moli, and the rest to the Kongxian sect to cultivate after he had established himself there. With good resources, their cultivation would progress faster. In the blink of an eye, a month had passed. In the past month, the righteous army had already gained complete control of the territories of the Serene Palace, the Walkabout sect, and the Blood-Red Elves Association. They had become a powerful force in the surrounding areas. However, in the chaotic astral river, there were nearly 1,000 major and minor powers. It was common for a power to be destroyed and a new power to be established. The destruction of a few powers, such as the Serene Palace, did not cause too much of a stir. A month later, the ancestor of technique returned to the true Heaven Star to meet Lu Ming. Lu Ming, you're in Kongxian sect. I wonder if you've seen Yuexin? The ancestor of technique asked Lu Ming, his eyes shining with hope. As expected, I asked. Lu Ming sighed in his heart. He pondered for a moment and said, Senior, I did see Senior Yuexin, but... Lu Ming paused for a moment. But what? The ancestor of technique's heart sank as he asked. Senior Yuexin already has a family. Lu Ming told the ancestor of technique everything he knew. After the ancestor of technique heard this, he fell silent. After a while, he sighed and said, Actually, I should have expected this. With my talent, how could I be a good match for Yuexin? She's married. This is good, this is good. The ancestor of technique muttered to himself. His eyes were filled with desolation, as if he had aged a lot in an instant. Senior, are you all right? Lu Ming asked with concern. He could understand the ancestor of technique's feelings. The woman he loved had married someone else. He would definitely not feel good. I'm fine. The ancestor of technique smiled. That's good. I can manage the righteous army well in the future. Let's go, Lu Ming. Let's go to the underworld star first. All right, let's go. Lu Ming's eyes lit up. Can't enter the heavenly realm, the heaven realm, the primordial realm, and the evil G.O.D. realm were also attached to the dark underworld star, the first life planet that Lu Ming came to in the primeval universe. Lu Ming had long wanted to come and take a look. Previously, the underworld star had always been under the control of the underworld hall, but now, it had become the territory of the righteous army. The underworld star was not too far away from the true sky star, so they soon arrived on the underworld star. They landed on a mountain peak. There were already a few people waiting on this peak. Ancestor of technique. When these people saw the ancestor of technique, they immediately saluted him. Come, let me introduce you. This is Lu Ming, the one who killed Kong Ji, Sidahuanen, and the others. The ancestor of technique pointed at Lu Ming and introduced. These people looked at Lu Ming one after another, their eyes filled with curiosity and shock. Song Emo? Lu Ming's eyes lit up. He saw Song Emo in the crowd. When he first came to the underworld star, he was hunted down by the people from the underworld hall. Fortunately, Song Emo saved him and he managed to escape. Later on, Song Emo even guided him to find the people from the righteous army. Lu Ming then left the underworld hall and went to the righteous army. Ah, Lu Ming, it's only been a few years. I didn't expect you to have already reached such a realm. Killing Kong Ji with a flip of your hand, this is really satisfying, really satisfying. Song Emo laughed. Big brother Song Emo, have you removed the restriction on your body? Lu Ming asked with a smile. It's lifted. Once Kong Ji died, the restriction was naturally lifted. Song Imo laughed, her expression relaxed. Lu Ming, let me introduce them to you. They came from the heaven realm. They used to be controlled by the underworld hall, but they're free now. Song Imo pointed to the people behind her and introduced. In the past, when one cultivated to the level of a demi-G, D in the heaven realm's primordial realm, they would leave the heaven realm's primordial realm and come to the primal universe. However, without exception, they would all be controlled by the underworld hall and have restrictions placed in their souls. Now that Kong Ji had died, the restrictions were naturally broken. Greetings, seniors. Lu Ming cupped his fists and said, You are too polite. The future generations are truly fearsome. Our heaven realm is really lucky to have such a heaven's favorite. The others cupped their fists and said, Our heaven realm is really lucky to have such a heaven's favorite. The others cupped their fists and said, Let's go and take a look at the heaven realm, the ancestor of technique said. Everyone's eyes revealed a glimmer of hope. They all came from the heaven realm and the primordial realm, but they had left for countless years and had never returned to take a look. They were naturally looking forward to it. Everyone flew towards the entrance of the heaven realm and soon arrived. Looking at the familiar place, Lu Ming felt rather emotional. However, it was a pity that Lu Ming could not enter heaven now. Lu Ming was too powerful now. His aura was powerful and his divine power was terrifying. On the other hand, the heaven realm was just a small kiliacosm. If Lu Ming were to enter, he might be able to tear the kiliacosm apart or even shatter it if he released a wisp of chi activity or leaked a trace of divine power. Only those below the third level of the void D realm could enter the small kiliacosm. Or, if one's cultivation had reached an extremely profound realm where he could perfectly control every bit of chi movement and divine power in his body, he could also enter a small kiliacosm. Lu Ming could not do it now. I can't go in. If you guys want to go in and take a look, then go in and take a look. The ancestor of technique said. I'll go in and take a look. I'll go too. Suddenly, one figure after another flew toward the entrance of the heaven realm and disappeared. Not long after, those people came out again. It's all right. Everything is normal inside. It's just that there's a lack of people. Someone said. Lu Ming and the ancestor of technique nodded. Back then, most of the living creatures in the heaven realm and the primordial realm had been brought out. Naturally, there was a lack of people. They were prepared to return to the righteous heaven army and let those who wanted to return to the heaven realm and the primordial realm to live. Although the cultivation conditions in the primeval universe were countless times better than those in the heaven realm and the primordial realm, there were also some family-loving people who wanted to go back. After staying for a while longer, they left and returned to the righteous army. After that, Lu Ming stayed on the true sky planet for a few months to guide Lu Xiangxiang, Ouyang Moli, and the rest in their cultivation. With the resources that Lu Ming provided, everyone's cultivation base improved greatly. A few months later, Lu Ming left the true heaven star with Qiu Yu and headed for the Kong Xian sect. More than a month later, he returned to the Kong Xian sect. If it were any other Kong Xian sect disciple, they would not be allowed to bring any other disciple in. However, Lu Ming had the golden token given to him by the Dragon Boat Mountain, so there was no problem. After returning to Kong Xian sect, Lu Ming returned to the outer sect area where he used to live. Lu Ming is back. Lu Ming had just returned and the news of his return had spread to the outer sect. Now, Lu Ming was simply a legend in the outer sect. Back in the Dark Dragon's secret realm, 9 of the top 10 virtual DS on the virtual D list had joined forces and had broken through to true D level, but they were still no match for Lu Ming. Lu Ming's battle results were simply a legend. In less than a day, Huoquan came to look for Lu Ming. Elder Huoquan, congratulations on becoming an inner court elder. Lu Ming cupped his fists and congratulated Huoquan the moment he saw him. This was because Huoquan's attire was different. Moreover, from the ident Tai token hanging on his waist, one could tell that this was not the ident Tai token of an outer sect elder, but an inner sect elder. Ha Lu Ming, you too. I'm here to congratulate you. You've been promoted to an inner disciple. You can move into the inner sect now. Huoquan laughed. Did I advance? Lu Ming muttered. This was within his expectations. Now that he had already broken through to the true G, D realm, he naturally couldn't stay in the outer sect anymore. It was also normal for him to be promoted to an inner sect disciple. This was also good. In the future, he would not need to rely on the gold token to enter and exit the inner sect. Lu Ming, come with me. After you've gone through the procedures, you can live in the inner sect. Huoquan said. Elder Huoquan, I have a friend who wants to cultivate with me. Lu Ming pointed at Qiuyu. Huoquan looked at Qiuyu and smiled. That's easy. It'll help her with the procedures too. She'll be a disciple of the Kong Xian sect in the future. After that, the two of them followed Huoquan to go through the formalities and exchange tokens. Lu Ming became an inner sect disciple and was given a large courtyard in the inner sect area. The cultivation environment here was naturally better than the outer gate area. Qiuyu, you're already a demi-G. D. Next, you'll break through to the void G. D realm. It'll take you to the divine pulse tower to cultivate. I think you'll be able to break through to the void G. D realm very quickly there. Lu Ming said to Qiuyu. Yes, young master. Qiuyu nodded obediently. Lu Ming then brought Qiuyu to the divine pulse tower to cultivate. The news of Lu Ming becoming an inner sect disciple slowly spread in the inner sect area and caused a stir. Lu Ming was only a disciple who had just entered the sect. It had only been a few years, and he had actually been promoted to an inner disciple. Such a cultivation speed was truly shocking. It was hard not to attract attention. All the major sects in the inner sect area were discussing and paying attention to Lu Ming. The killing intent of the Tianhong Saint's son. A group of people was gathered in a luxurious courtyard in the inner court. Among this group of people, Huang Wen was among them. That Lu Ming, what a terrifying speed of advancement. It's only been a few decades and he's already an inner disciple. A young man said in shock. This man is a monster. When he grows up in the future, I'm afraid he will pose a threat to the saint's position. We must get rid of him. Huang Wen said through gritted teeth. Huang Wen, I heard that you and your brother have a grudge against Lu Ming. Because of this, Lu Ming even killed many people from the transient light sect when he was in the outer sect? Isn't that right? Some people looked at Huang Wen. These people were all from the Sacred Sun of Reflections faction. They were all experts from the inner sect. Not bad. Huang Wen nodded. Since there's a grudge between us, we must get rid of him as soon as possible. Send someone to keep a close eye on Lu Ming's movements. Once he leaves the Kong Xian sect, send someone to get rid of him. A young man looked at Huang Wen and said, All right. Huang Wen nodded as a cold killing intent flashed in his eyes. However, deep in his eyes, there was a trace of fear. Lu Ming's growth rate was too shocking. It made him feel fear. In another luxurious courtyard in the inner court, a group of people gathered together as if they were waiting for someone. Within this group of people, there was actually an outer sect deacon, Lu Zhong. These people were all from the Tianhong Saint Sun's faction. The saint is here. Someone suddenly called out. As soon as he finished speaking, a few figures descended from the sky. The one in the lead was a handsome young man in luxurious clothes. He exuded Bli temperament. This person was the leader of the Tianhong sect, the Tianhong Saint Sun. He was one of the 5 saints of the Kong Xian sect. Kong Xian sect had a total of 5 saints and 2 saintesses. He was one of the strongest disciples and had a chance of becoming the sect leader. In the Kong Xian sect, one could not become a holy son or holy daughter just because they had mastered the divine power. Mastering divine-grade divine power was only the most basic condition. It also depended on one's cultivation and combat power. Only when one met these requirements could they become a holy son or holy daughter. To become a saint or saintess, one had to be at least a heavenly G. We pay our respects to the saint. Lu Zhong and the others immediately bowed respectfully. Rise. I've just come out of seclusion. Why are you looking for me? The Tianhong Saint Sun said. Saint, it's because of an outer sect disciple. No, he's already an inner sect disciple now. A young man answered. Someone who just became an inner sect disciple. The Tianhong saint's son was confused. Was there a need to report to him about someone who had just become an inner disciple? Saint, this person is a monster with shocking talent. He has only been in the sect for few decades and has already become an inner sect disciple. His combat strength is also amazing. He walked out happily and told her about Lu Ming's performance during this period. The Tianhong saint's son frowned. This person is extremely arrogant. Our Tianhong sect had invited him to join us from the very beginning, but he didn't care at all. I guess he's also very ambitious. He wants to form his own sect in the future and compete for the position of sect leader. Many people from our Tianhong sect have died in his hands, including Ying Tsang. Le Zhong continued. Ying Tsang is dead. The Tianhong saint's son's eyes flashed, and he exuded cold-killing intent. Ying Tsang was ranked 4th on the virtual G.O.D. ranking list. He was very talented and could become his powerful subordinate when he grew up. However, he had died in Lu Ming's hands. You still want to form your own faction? The Kongxian sect has 7 major factions, which is more than enough. Also, since we've already made enemies, we have to get rid of them as soon as possible. The Tianhong saint's son's indifferent voice was heard. Don't worry, Saint. I'll send someone to keep an eye on this kid. Once I have the chance, I'll personally take action and get rid of this person. Lu Zhong said coldly. All right, I'm relieved to have you take action. The Tianhong saint's son said. Then, everyone started to discuss other matters. Lu Ming knew nothing about this. He and Qiu Yu had been cultivating in seclusion in the Divine Pulse Tower. The Divine Pulse Tower was too useful for Qiu Yu. In less than half a year, Qiu Yu's aura had reached the peak and she was trying to break through to the Void G.O.D. realm. A few days later, Qiu Yu successfully broke through to the first level of the Void G.D. realm. After Qiu Yu's breakthrough, Lu Ming was relieved. He left Qiu Yu alone in the Divine Pulse Tower to cultivate while he left for the Divine Technique Valley to cultivate the divine skills. Spring went and autumn came. In the blink of an eye, 20 years had passed. In the past 20 years, Lu Ming had been focused on cultivation. His 3 divine skills had all made great progress. He had reached the 4th level of the 9 heavenly Kunpeng technique, the 4th level of the 3 apocalyptic strikes, the 4th layer of the 9-layer crimson gold armor. All of them had reached the 4th level, which was very shocking. The higher the level of a divine skill, the more difficult it was to cultivate. Of course, the power would also be stronger. Many experts at the peak of true G.O.D. had only cultivated their divine skills to the 4th stage. Only some terrifying prodigies could possibly cultivate to the 5th stage at the peak of true G.O. Lu Ming had just broken through to true G.O.D. and he had already reached the 4th stage. Moreover, he had 3 types. If this was known by others, their eyes would pop out of their sockets. At the same time, Lu Ming had also fused 8 cold moonstones into the secret skill, Ice Shackles. The Ice Shackles was officially completed and its power was shocking. In 20 years, Lu Ming's cultivation level did not increase. He was still at the 1st stage of true G.O.D., but it had been completely stabilized and he was slowly approaching the 2nd stage of true G.O.D. It was more difficult and took a longer time to level up to true G.O.D. level. Moreover, Lu Ming had cultivated 5 divine flames. It would be more difficult to level up. It was normal to not have a breakthrough in 20 years. However, compared to 20 years ago, Lu Ming's combat strength had increased by more than 1 level. It's a pity that the battle character formula has reached a bottleneck. It's hard to break through. Lu Ming frowned. He had almost reached a 100% success rate of the battle formula's triple combat power, but he still couldn't reach quadruple combat power. He had encountered a bottleneck and tried all sorts of methods, but it was difficult to improve. Lu Ming, it's hard for you to level up because your divine body isn't strong enough. At this moment, a deep voice rang out in Lu Ming's sea of consciousness. It was the sound of the battle formula. The battle symbol art had always been very quiet and rarely spoke, but now it spoke. His divine body isn't strong enough? Lu Ming was stunned for a moment before he came to a realization. The battle character formula triggered a higher number of combat power, and the requirement for the divine body was indeed very high. If his divine body wasn't strong enough, he wouldn't be able to use the battle formula. That's right. It's just that your divine body isn't strong enough. If you want to cultivate the battle character formula to quadruple your combat power, you have to increase the strength of your divine body. Otherwise, you won't be able to cultivate to quadruple your combat power in your entire life. In fact, when your cultivation gets stronger in the future, you won't even be able to triple or double your combat power. The battle character said, "Divine body. How should I improve my divine body?" Lu Ming frowned. When he came to the primeval universe, he found that the creatures in the primeval universe paid attention to the cultivation of divine power. As their divine power became stronger, it would also subtly temper their divine bodies. Hence, the higher one's cultivation was, the stronger one's divine body would be. However, there were no divine techniques that could improve the divine body. He walked into the teleportation array and teleported away. "May I ask where that person was teleported to?" The two young men came to the teleportation formation and asked a burly man who was guarding it. "I'm sorry, but I can't tell you where he's going." The burly man said. There were rules for them to guard the teleportation formation, which was to keep it a secret. "I'm telling you, we were sent by the sacred Sun of Reflection. Now, the sacred Sun of Reflection wants to know where that kid is. Are you going to offend the sacred Sun of Reflection?" A young man said coldly. The burly man's face turned pale. He couldn't afford to offend someone at the saint level. Once he did, he wouldn't even know how he died. "He's going to," the burly man told them about Lu Ming's whereabouts in a trembling voice. The two young men sneered. They stepped into the teleportation formation and chased after Lu Ming. After the two young men left, Lu Zhong came forward and revealed his ident. 1. Tai as the Tianhong Saint's son. The burly man naturally did not dare to offend him and informed him of Lu Ming's whereabouts. Lu Zhong also stepped into the teleportation formation and chased after him. The Kongxian sect couldn't reach the ancient G.O.D. planet directly, so they could only teleport to a nearby planet and fly there on an interstellar warship. After more than a month of traveling, Lu Ming finally arrived in the sky above the ancient G.O.D. star. The ancient G.O.D. star was huge and it rotated slowly in the starry sky. Lu Ming sat on the starry sky warship and flew around the ancient G.O.D. star, observing it carefully. Legend had it that the descendants of the ancient G.O.D.s lived on a divine mountain called the ancient G.O.D.s mountain. However, for some unknown reason, the ancient G.O.D.s mountain suddenly disappeared from the ancient G.O.D.s star and never appeared again. Lu Ming wanted to find the ancient G.O.D.s mountain because the ancient G.O.D. flower could only be found there. However, he didn't find the ancient G.O.D.s mountain even after circling the ancient G.O.D. star several times in the interplanetary warship. Lu Ming had no choice but to choose a random place and land. After entering the atmosphere, Lu Ming kept the starry sky warship and flew towards a big city below. Not long after Lu Ming landed, two interstellar battleships flew over and landed. They were the two young experts from the Floating Light faction and Le Jaune. Lu Ming landed in the big city. The big city was very prosperous. There were many races and people came and went. It was very lively. In the distant past, the ancient G.O.D. star had been under the control of the descendants of the ancient G.O.D.s. However, since the disappearance of the descendants of the ancient G.O.D.s, the ancient G.O.D. star had fallen into chaos. Countless forces were born, and they fought with each other until now. Have you heard? Another family has been annihilated. I've heard about it too. It's really tragic. The entire family was killed, Not even a chicken or dog was left. This is the 5th family in this area to be destroyed in the past 3 months. I wonder who did it? Why did you exterminate these families? These families are just small families. Those who can do this must be the major forces. Not long after Lu Ming entered the city, he heard a series of discussions. Let me tell you, I heard a piece of news. It is said that all of this is because of the ancient G.O.D. map. Suddenly, someone said in a low voice, Ancient G.O.D. map? The others were puzzled. It's the ancient G.O.D. map. With this map, you can find the ancient G.O.D.S. mountain where the descendants of the ancient G.O.D.S. are. That person said, What? Can you find the ancient G.O.D.S. mountain where the descendants of the ancient G.O.D.S. live? Many people were shocked. Legend has it that the descendants of the ancient G.O.D.S. were exterminated for some reason. However, there are a lot of treasures left by the descendants of the ancient G.O.D.S. in the ancient G.O.D. mountain. It is said that whoever can find the ancient G.O.D. mountain and obtain the treasures inside can unify the ancient G.O.D. star and become the overlord of the ancient G.O.D. star. That's right, the ancient G.O.D. map. Could it be real? Many people exclaimed in shock and excitement. It's most likely true. It's said that it appeared in the nearby area and was controlled by a family. That's why the families were destroyed one after another. The person from before said. These words set off a huge uproar and spread wider and wider. Can you find the ancient G.O.D.S. mountain on the ancient G.O.D.S. map? Lu Ming's eyes lit up. It was better to come at the right time than to come early. Lu Ming did not expect to hear about the ancient G.O.D.S. mountain as soon as he arrived. Since families have been destroyed one after another, I guess there will be another one. I'll go to these families and wait. Maybe I can find some clues. Lu Ming pondered and then asked around. In this area, there were a total of 9 great clans. 5 of them had already been destroyed, and there were still 4 left. Let's go to this Fu clan. Lu Ming randomly chose a family. After figuring out the route, he headed in that direction. However, after Lu Ming had flown for a distance, 2 young men appeared in front of him and blocked his way. Killing 2 geniuses, who are you? Lu Ming frowned. He could sense a cold killing intent from the 2 young men. The person who will kill you. A young man with 2 bull horns on his head said coldly. Buzz. Then, in a flash, he appeared behind Lu Ming, blocking his way of retreat. You are the disciples of the Kongxian sect? Lu Ming's eyes turned cold as he asked. At least you're smart. I'll let you die in peace. That's right, we're inner disciples of the Kongxian sect and belong to the Sacred Son of Reflections faction. Do you understand? The bull-horned young man said coldly. Sacred Son of Reflections faction, it's really you guys. Lu Ming sneered, his body exuding a cold, murderous intent. There were only 2 sects in the Kongxian sect that wanted to kill him. One was the Fuguang sect and the other was the Tianhong sect. Brat, you even have killing intent towards us. With your cultivation of only stage 1 true G.O.D., you want to kill us? This is simply laughable. The bull-horned young man sneered and stepped forward, his violent aura soaring into the sky. 7th stage true G.O.D. The bull-horned young man was at the 7th stage of true G.O.D. realm and the divine power he controlled was king-grade divine power. His fighting power was enough to fight against an ordinary 8th stage true G.D. At the same time, the other youth also burst out with a terrifying aura. He was also at the 7th stage of true G.O.D. realm. 2 heaven's favorites at the 7th stage of the true G.O.D. realm came to kill a person at the 1st stage of the true G.O.D. realm. No matter how heaven's favorites this person was, it was a sure thing. Because the difference was too great. It was no wonder that they found it ridiculous that Lu Ming had the intention to kill them. Kid, they'll send you on your way. Remember, the one who killed you is Niu Fun. The bull-horned young man took 1,000 steps and threw a punch at Lu Ming. What? Cow dung? Lu Ming almost laughed out loud when he heard the name. That was a really good name. However, before Lu Ming could think further, the other party's fist force was already pressing down on him. Buzz! A long spear appeared in Lu Ming's hands and he thrust it forward. In the process of stabbing, Lu Ming had already exploded with 3 times his combat strength. Boom! The spear and the fist force collided, creating a violent boom and overflowing energy. The bull-horned young man retreated a dozen steps, while Lu Ming's body only swayed a little. How is that possible? Your battle strength. The bull-horned young man's eyes widened in shock. How is it possible that Lu Ming had the upper hand in a head-on collision? How could a first-stage true G.O.D. possibly have such powerful combat power? The other young man, who had a relaxed expression, was no longer relaxed. His face was filled with solemnness. Clearly, Lu Ming's attack had frightened them. Kill! The bull-horned young man bellowed. A battle axe appeared in his hand and he slashed it at Lu Ming with terrifying power. The bull-horned young man had already used his divine skill. Break the sky! Lu Ming also used his delay skill. Clang! This time, the bull-horned young man's body shook violently and he was forced to retreat again. Even after using the divine skill, he was still at a disadvantage. Then quick, attack together! Attack together! The bull-horned young man roared. The other young man had already made his move. His figure flashed and he pounced at Lu Ming at an extremely fast speed. A brilliant sword light burst out and headed for Lu Ming. 3 apocalyptic strikes, break the sky. Lu Ming swung his spear again. This time, 2 spear lights burst out and attacked the other party. Clang, clang. The 2 sides continued to exchange blows. The 3 figures flickered in the air at an astonishing speed. In the blink of an eye, they had exchanged dozens of moves. To be honest, the bull-horned young man and the other man were both very strong. They were at stage 7 of true G.O.D. realm and had king-grade divine power. Even one of their divine skills had been cultivated to stage 4. With the 2 of them working together, it would not be easy even for Lu Ming to take them down. After exchanging dozens of moves, although Lu Ming had the upper hand, he could not completely crush them. This man is too powerful. Let's retreat and report this to the saints so that he can send more powerful people to kill this kid. Not bad. The bull-horned young man and the other young man conversed in secret. Their eyes were filled with deep fear. A first-stage true G.O.D. was actually able to suppress the 2 of them when they joined forces. Such a monster was simply unheard of. Even those holy sons were far inferior to Lu Ming in a battle of the same level. Although those saints were powerful, there was a limit. However, Lu Ming was simply a freak. Let's go! The 2 of them quickly retreated, trying to escape. You want to leave? Lu Ming's lips curled into a cold smile. Ice chains. Then, with a thought, 8 chains flew out of Lu Ming's body. That's right, there were 8 chains. Lu Ming did not use his full strength. He did not use the most terrifying chain. However, these 8 ice chains had all been refined into cold moon stones, so their power was equally shocking. As soon as the ice chains appeared, they were like 8 long snakes, dancing in the sky and winding toward the bull-horned young man and the other man. Break! The bull-horned young man and the other man attacked crazily, trying to break the ice chains. However, when their attacks landed on the ice chains, they were completely unharmed. On the contrary, a terrifying chill spread out from the ice chains and entered the bodies of the bull-horned young man and the other man through the divine artifact. The 2 of them shivered and a layer of frost appeared on the surface of their bodies, trying to seal them in ice. Ah! The bull-horned young man and the other young man shouted with all their might, but it was to no avail. They couldn't break the ice chains at all. The ice chains contracted and became tighter and tighter. In the end, they wrapped around the bull-horned young man and the other man tightly, making them unable to move. Kill! Lu Ming said coldly. He thrust his spear forward and killed the bull-horned young man and his companion. He waved his hand and kept their storage rings. The sacred sun of reflection. The cold glint in Lu Ming's eyes intensified. These 2 factions had tried to kill him time and time again. In his heart, he had already been sentenced to death. He would destroy these two factions sooner or later. If I go all out now, it would be equivalent to a heaven's favorite at the 8th stage of true D realm. After this battle, Lu Ming had a rough estimate of his abilities. If he used all his means now, he was probably comparable to an 8th stage true D who controlled king-grade divine power. If he only controlled ordinary divine power, Lu Ming could even fight against a 9th stage true D, fighting a stage 9 true D as a stage 1 true D, if it was spread out, it would probably scare people to death. In a flash, Lu Ming left the place. Shortly after Lu Ming left, Lu Zhong's figure appeared there. At this moment, Lu Zhong's eyes were filled with shock. In fact, he had seen the entire battle just now. Lu Ming's combat strength had deeply shocked him. Too terrifying. This kid's combat strength is too terrifying. He mumbled to himself. As he recalled the battle just now, the fear in his eyes grew stronger. A stage 1 true D could actually kill 2 stage 7 true D geniuses. If he didn't see it with his own eyes, he wouldn't believe it even if he was beaten to death. Someone shouted. They were filled with despair and stared at Lu Ming with hatred. Hey, I have no enmity with you. It's fine if you attack me for no reason, but you're also looking at me as if you have a deep hatred for me. What do you mean? Lu Ming was somewhat speechless. No grudges? Are you not here to exterminate my Fu clan? An old man called out. Exterminate your Fu clan? If I wanted to exterminate the Fu family, would you still be alive? Lu Ming touched his nose and said. Everyone on the other side was stunned, and then they looked at each other. That was indeed the case. With Lu Ming's abilities, it would be as easy as turning his hand if he wanted to kill them. Just now, he had sent all of them flying with one shot, but he did not kill a single one. If he wanted to kill them, why would he do that? And you are? The old man looked at Lu Ming uneasily and stuttered. They were afraid that Lu Ming would kill them if they angered him. I heard that 5 families have been exterminated in the vicinity. I was curious and wanted to come to your Fu clan to take a look. I didn't expect to be regarded as an enemy by you. Lu Ming smiled and did not find it strange. The other party was facing the danger of being annihilated at any moment, so it was normal to be a little frightened. Young hero, I'm sorry. We were too impetuous just now. That stage 4 true D old man apologized repeatedly. It's fine. Lu Ming waved his hands. His expression suddenly changed as he looked in a direction. It seems like the person who wants to exterminate you all has really come. What? The Fu clan elder's expression changed drastically as he quickly looked in that direction. Bush. In that direction, there were many black shadows flashing towards them at an astonishing speed. Within a few breaths, the black shadows had arrived and surrounded the Fu clan and Lu Ming. There were more than 200 of them. These people were all wrapped in black robes, giving off a mysterious and dangerous feeling. Who are you people? What are you guys trying to do? The Fu clan elder asked in shock. Hand over the map of ancient this mountain and I will spare your lives. One of the black-robed men said in a hoa. Voice. What map of the ancient DS mountain? Our Fu clan doesn't have a map of the ancient DS mountain. The Fu clan elder roared. No? You want shed tears until you see the coffin. Then let's exterminate the Fu clan and we'll find them ourselves. Kill. The leader of the black-robed men waved his hand, and more than 200 black-robed men moved. Their figures flickered, and they charged toward the Fu clan's people with extreme speed. They're all experts. Lu Ming took a glance and realized that these black-robed men were all experts. Most of them were true D realm experts. The strongest few had reached the 5th stage of true D realm, and their abilities were far above the Fu family. Defend! The Fu clan elder roared and gathered the Fu clan members into a defensive formation. Although the Fu clan had more people, their strength was far inferior to the other party. Lu Ming did not take action immediately. He planned to make the Fu family suffer a little before he took action. However, even though he didn't want to do it, someone forced him to. Kill. A third-stage True D realm black-robed man charged at Lu Ming. The cold blade light was aimed at Lu Ming's head, wanting to split him in half. I originally wanted to let you live a little longer, but you're really looking for death. Lu Ming said coldly. He thrust his spear forward and killed the man. When the other black-robed men saw this scene, their expressions changed drastically. Kill. Lu Ming made his move. His figure flashed and his long spear trembled. Rays of spear radiance burst out. Among these people, the highest was only at the 5th stage True D realm. Moreover, the divine power they controlled was almost all ordinary divine power. In Lu Ming's hands, they could not even withstand a single blow. Each spear light would take a person's life. Over 100 spear lights burst out and over 100 men in black were all killed. Their corpses lay all over the ground. The scene suddenly fell silent. Both the men in black and the Fu clan were extremely shocked. Let's go! After a few seconds, the man in black finally reacted and started to escape in all directions. They understood that they had encountered a terrifying expert. If they stayed, they would all die. If you want to leave, then stay, go. Lu Ming growled. 8 ice chains flew out and grew rapidly. The sky was filled with the shadows of the chains, binding the hundreds of men in black. How could these black-robed men avoid the attack of the ice chains? They were all bound by the terrifying coldness of the ice chains and froze there. Chapter 2764 Region Lord Wandering Wind. More than 100 men in black were all bound by Lu Ming's ice chains and frozen by the cold air. Didn't you want to know who they are? I'll leave it to you now. Lu Ming looked at the Fu family. Only then did the Fu family people wake up from their daze. That stage 4 True D old man walked over and stared at a black-clothed man as he asked, "Speak, who are you? Don't even think about getting anything out of me." The black-clothed man said gloomily, "You're all wearing black robes to cover your faces and hide your heads and tails. You're afraid that people will recognize you. I'd like to see who you are." The Fu clan elder waved his hand and tore off the black robe, revealing a middle-aged man's face. Seeing this person's face, the Fu clan elder was stunned for a moment before revealing a shocked expression. He roared, "It's you, 19 guardians. Are you the people of Protectorate Lord Yufeng?" The Fu clan elder's voice trembled as if he was extremely shocked. "Region Master Wandering Wind. It's actually the Region Master Wandering Wind. We're finished. The other members of the Fu clan were also pale with fear. Region Master Wandering Wind? Lu Ming was puzzled. Young hero, it's like this. After many years of war, the ancient D star has been divided into many territories. Each territory has a territory master. The Wandering Wind Region Master is the ruler of this territory. He is the overlord of this territory. The Fu clan elder explained. Lu Ming had a sudden realization. I didn't expect that it would actually be Protectorate Lord Yufeng who sent someone to attack. I didn't expect. The Fu clan elder sighed. Their Fu clan was merely a power governed by the Wandering Wind Protectorate Lord. How could they possibly contend with the Wandering Wind Protectorate Lord? Now that Protectorate Lord Yufeng had set his eyes on them, the Fu clan would most likely be annihilated. Since you know that we're Domain Lord Yufeng's men, why don't you let us go? The 19 protectors said with a dark and cold expression. Since he had been recognized, he no longer had to hide it. That's right, let us go. The other men in black also shouted. The Fu clan elder and the other Fu clan members were hesitant. Just now, so many of their people have already died. Also, that so-called Region Master Yufeng has already set his eyes on your Fu clan. Do you think that if you let these people go, the other party will let your Fu clan go? Lu Ming said calmly. Kid, the 19 guardians and the other black-robed men are all greatly shocked. That's right. Kill all of them. We can even weaken the strength of the Region Master of the Wandering Wind region. The Fu clan elder gritted his teeth and revealed a ruthless expression. You dare? The 19 guardians are shocked and furious. Buzz. A blade light flashed as the Fu clan's old man made his move, splitting the 19 guardians in half. Attack. Kill them all. The Fu clan elder roared. Kill. The Fu clan had all attacked the black-robed men. The men in black were bound by Lu Ming's ice chains and could not resist at all. They were killed one after another. Soon more than 100 people were all dead. Lu Ming waved his hand and kept the ice chain. Young hero, can I invite you to the Fu family as a guest? The Fu clan elder stammered. Next, the Fu clan would definitely have to face the revenge of the region master Yufeng. With their Fu clan strength, they would definitely not be able to withstand it and would only be destroyed. However, the abilities that Lu Ming had just displayed were extremely shocking. To have such combat strength at such a young age, he was definitely not from the ancient D star. There was a high possibility that he was a genius disciple from one of the major forces in the Qin Heaven Star Zone. He wanted to ask Lu Ming for help. Perhaps he could help the Fu family tide over this crisis. What's the domain Lord Wandering Wind's cultivation base? Lu Ming asked. I heard that he's at the 8th stage of True G realm. The Fu family old man said. When talking about stage 8 True G D realm, his expression was extremely solemn. An 8th stage True G D wasn't something their Fu clan could go up against. Their Fu clan's strongest expert was only at 5th stage True G D. Stage 8 True G D realm? Alright, they'll go with you. Lu Ming smiled faintly. Lu Ming didn't take the 8th stage True G D to heart. Even if it was an 8th stage True G D who controlled King-grade divine power, Lu Ming wasn't afraid. Lu Ming would not be a match for those top geniuses who had mastered terrifying secret skills or whose divine power was of the holy grade. Thank you, young hero. The Fu clan elder was overjoyed when he heard Lu Ming's agreement. The other Fu clan members were also overjoyed. The crowd cleaned up the battlefield. Lu Ming followed the Fu clan members and headed back to the Fu clan. A group of people came to welcome him as soon as he arrived at the Fu clan. Grand Elder, what's the situation? There seems to be a big battle over there just now. A middle-aged man in luxurious clothes came over and asked the Fu clan elder. The Fu clan's old man was the Fu clan's Grand Elder. Clan head, there was indeed a huge battle just now. The other party is Region Master Yufeng's man. The Fu clan's first elder said. What? Region Master Wandering Wind? The Fu clan head's face was as white as snow. It's all thanks to this young hero Lu Ming that we're still alive. The first elder of the Fu family immediately explained what had happened. After the master of the Fu family heard that, he naturally thanked Lu Ming profusely and treated Lu Ming as a distinguished guest. Ancient DS mountain map. As soon as Protectorate Lord Yufeng finished speaking, a piece of purplish gold metal the size of a fingernail appeared in his palm. At this moment, the surface of this piece of metal was shimmering with light, as if it was resonating with something. Everyone came to a sudden realization. They finally understood why there were so many families being annihilated in the vicinity. That was because Protectorate Lord Yufeng had sensed the appearance of a little soul gold in this area through the little soul gold. It was highly likely that it was the map of ancient DS mountain. However, he wasn't sure of the exact location. Thus, the clans went over one by one and searched for it. However, he was afraid of being criticized by others, so he had all his subordinates wear black robes and mask their faces. But my Fu family really doesn't have any soul gold. The Fu clan head called out, his face full of helplessness. Father, could it be related to the batch of ancient objects I bought last time? At this moment, a young man came to the side of the Fu family's head and whispered, Antique. The Fu clan head was stunned. Yes, I bought a batch of ancient objects last time and wanted to study them to see if they have any value. One of the scrolls has a similar color to this soul gold. Jiao said. The young man said, "What?" Region Master Yufeng's eyes lit up when he heard the young man's words. "What? There's such a thing. Hurry up and take it out." The head of the Fu clan hurriedly called out. "Yes." The young man nodded and took out a storage ring. The storage ring glowed, and a pile of antiques appeared in the air. They didn't seem to have any spirituality, but they looked very simple and were full of the traces of time. Especially one of the scrolls, the color was really similar to the soul gold, but the color was much darker. When these items were taken out, the soul gold in Protectorate Lord Yufeng's hand immediately shone with a dazzling light. Then, the ancient scroll suddenly shone brightly and resonated with the soul gold. Haha, the map of the ancient G.O.D.S. mountain. It's really the map of the ancient G.O.D.S. mountain. Give it to me. Region Master Wandering Wind burst out laughing. The master of the Fu family quickly grabbed the map of ancient G.O.D.S. mountain and said, "Protectorate Lord Wandering Wind, I'll hand this map to you. You must promise to let my Fu clan go." "Alright, I promise you. Now, hurry up and hand it over to me," Region Master Wandering Wind said hurriedly. The Fu clan's master muttered to himself for a moment. With a wave of his hand, the map of the ancient G.O.D.S. mountain flew towards Protectorate Lord Yufeng and was caught by him. After he caught it in his hand, he hurriedly opened it to take a look, and his expression became even happier. "Haha, I finally got it. Now, since you have handed over the map of ancient G.O.D.S. mountain, I will give your Fu clan a quick death." Region Master Yufeng said coldly. "What? Didn't you say you would let our Fu clan go? You didn't keep your word." The patriarch of the Fu family roared. "Credibility? Last time, I sent more than 200 people here, and all of them died in your Fu clan. If your Fu clan isn't destroyed, how can I face my subordinates?" Region Master Yufeng said coldly. His eyes were extremely cold. He had no intention of letting the Fu clan go from the very beginning. "Hee, Yufeng, you're still as despicable as ever." At this moment, a sneer came from the sky. It was filled with mockery. "Who is it?" Region Master Yufeng's expression changed as he looked at the sky. "Yufeng, you can't even recognize my voice?" The voice rang out again. Buzz. Buzz. Then, a few figures appeared in that direction. The leader of the group was a skinny middle-aged man. "Xiangshan, it's you." Region Master Wandering Wind's expression changed. "The Domain Lord of the Elephant Mountain region. It's the Domain Lord of the Elephant Mountain region." Someone from the Fu clan exclaimed. "It seems like it's another Domain Lord." Lu Ming had an idea. The Region Lord Yufeng ruled this region while the Region Lord Xiangshan should be the overlord who ruled the other region. "Of course it's me. Yufeng, do you want to keep the map of the ancient G.O.D.S. mountain for yourself? Just hand it over." The Domain Lord of the Elephant Mountain region said coldly. You want to take the map of ancient G.O.D.S. mountain from me by yourself? In your dreams." Protectorate Lord Yufeng waved the map of the ancient G.O.D.S. mountain in his hand and was about to put it away in his storage ring. At this moment, a beam of light shot towards Protectorate Lord Yufeng's palm at an extremely fast speed. The attack came from behind Protectorate Lord Yufeng. It was one of his subordinates. Protectorate Lord Yufeng had never expected that his subordinate would attack him. He wanted to dodge, but it was too late. His palm was T and exploded. The ancient G.O.D. map flew out. "Great Guardian, you're looking for death. Die." Region Master Yufeng roared in anger. He circulated his divine power and quickly repaired his broken palm. The person who had attacked him just now was the #1 expert under him. He was in existence at the 7th stage of true G.O.D. realm and was his great protector. The great protector retreated quickly to prevent Region Master Yufeng from attacking. Let me tell you, your Grand Guardian has long since secretly joined my side." The Domain Lord of the Elephant Mountain region laughed and pounced towards the ancient G.O.D.S. mountain map. "Don't even think about taking my map of ancient G.O.D.S. mountain. Kill him." Region Lord Yufeng roared and pounced towards the ancient GODS mountain map. At the same time, a violent attack was continuously launched towards the Xiangshan region lord. The domain lord of the Elephant Mountain region was not afraid at all. He also launched an attack. The two of them collided continuously, and their forces spread in all directions. Fortunately, the map of ancient GODS mountain was made of soul-touch gold and was extremely hard. It rolled in the strong qi and was unharmed. The Elephant Mountain region master was also at the stage 8 of the true GOD realm. His fighting power was not any weaker than the Wandering Wind region master. The two of them exchanged blows continuously, but neither of them could gain the upper hand. For a moment, neither of them obtained the map of the ancient GODS mountain. However, just as Yufeng and Xiangshan were fighting fiercely, a figure in the sky pounced at the ancient GODS mountain map at a very fast speed and grabbed it. This was a member of the Wings race. He had a pair of green wings on his back, and when he flapped them, his speed was astonishing. Domain Lord Yuhan, it's you. Attack! Region Lord Yufeng and Region Lord Xiangshan shouted at the same time. They couldn't be bothered with fighting and attacked the Wings race man at the same time. Another Domain Lord had arrived. It was none other than the Domain Lord Yuhan. Originally, Domain Lord Yuhan was about to get the map of the ancient GODS mountain. However, the combined attacks of Domain Lord Yufeng and Domain Lord Xiangshan were extremely powerful. He had no choice but to give up on the map of the ancient GODS mountain and defend himself with all his might. Boom, boom. Domain Lord Yuhan was forced to retreat. Meanwhile, the Domain Lord Yufeng and the Domain Lord Xiangshan pounced toward the ancient GODS mountain map and started fighting again. Domain Master Yuhan's face was gloomy. She also pounced forward. The three Domain Masters were engaged in a battle. Everyone wanted the map of the ancient GODS mountain, but no one could get it. The Fu family people were all stunned. They didn't expect to attract three Domain Lords. The map of the ancient GODS mountain was flying around in the air. A map of ancient GODS mountain? Lu Ming muttered, his eyes filled with desire. Wasn't he here to find the ancient GODS mountain? Therefore, he wanted the map of ancient GODS mountain. Lu Ming took a step forward and approached the battlefield. Killing a Domain Lord coincidentally, when Lu Ming took a step forward, the map of the ancient GODS mountain flew toward him like a bolt of lightning. Even Lu Ming himself was slightly stunned. He reached out and took the map of the ancient GODS mountain. Boy, give me the map of ancient GODS mountain. Hurry up and hand it over. The three Domain Lords, Yufeng, Xiangshan, and Yuhan, roared and pounced toward Lu Ming. Lu Ming shifted his body and moved a few hundred miles away, avoiding the attack. I want this map of ancient GODS mountain. Lu Ming said and put away the map of the ancient GODS mountain. Everyone around them was stunned. They then looked at Lu Ming as if he was an idiot. Did he want the map of ancient GODS mountain? Do you think the three region lords are just for show? Wasn't this courting death? Even the three Domain Lords were stunned for a moment, and then they all released cold killing intent. Kid, I've seen stupid people, but I've never seen someone as stupid as you. Since you're looking for death, I'll fulfill your wish. Die. Region Master Yufeng shouted coldly. He pounced at Lu Ming like a bolt of lightning. He's mine. Don't even think about it. Hang it from me. The Domain Lords of the Elephant Mountain Domain and the Yuhan Domain pounced on Lu Ming, trying to kill him and take his storage ring. You really think I'm a soft persimmon? Lu Ming sneered and a long spear appeared in his hand. At the same time, Lu Ming activated the tripled combat power of the battle formula. Break the sky, break! Lu Ming shouted. The divine energy in his body circulated at full force and he cast the first move of the three apocalyptic strikes, Sky-piercing. The three spear lights carried a terrifying power as they pierced towards the Domain Lord Yufeng, the Domain Lord Xiangshan, and the Domain Lord Yuhan. Boom, boom, boom. After 3 consecutive explosions, the expressions of Region Master Yufeng and the other 2 changed drastically. Their bodies trembled and they couldn't help but retreat. Lu Ming's figure swayed and he took a few steps back. What? At the scene, everyone was dumbfounded. Lu Ming had blocked the attacks of the 3 zone leaders and even forced them to retreat. How could Lu Ming have such strong combat abilities? Previously, some people felt that Lu Ming was foolish. Now, they realized that they were the foolish ones. Amazing, so amazing. The head of the Fu family and the others were also shocked. And at this brat, Region Master Yufeng and the other 2 couldn't hide the shock in their eyes. This kid is tricky. Why don't the 3 of us work together and get rid of him first? Then we can get the map of ancient G.O.D.S. Mountain. Region Master Wandering Wind transmitted a message to the other 2 Region Masters. All right. I agree. Domain Lord Xiang Shan and Domain Lord Yuhan nodded their heads, agreeing to join forces. From the fight just now, they knew that they were not Lu Ming's match if they were alone. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Zone Master Yufeng and the other 2 moved. They charged at Lu Ming like a pair of horns. Come on. Lu Ming muttered. The long spear vibrated and swept out. The divine power that Zone Master Yufeng and the other 2 controlled was just ordinary divine power. Although they had the cultivation of 8th tier true G.D., Lu Ming was not afraid at all. Boom. The thick spear light was like a mountain, bombarding the 3 territory lords. The 3 domain lords all used their ultimate moves and the 2 sides fought intensely. Boom, boom, boom. The sky continued to explode, and in the blink of an eye, both sides had exchanged hundreds of blows. Nice, you'll try out my new move. 3 apocalyptic strikes, moon cutting. Lu Ming's eyes glowed. The divine power in his body surged wildly and surged into the long spear. At the same time, Lu Ming cast the ice chains. A few chains swept toward the domain lord of the Elephant Mountain region and the domain lord of the Yuhan region. Lu Ming himself cast the second move of the 3 apocalyptic strikes, moon cutting. When the 3 apocalyptic strikes reached the 4th level, he could already use the second move, moon cutting. The power of this move was even stronger than piercing. Of course, the amount of divine power it consumed was even more shocking. However, Lu Ming had the measure formula. He did not care about the consumption of divine power. A ray of spear light, like a crescent moon, attacked Protectorate Lord Yufeng. This is, Protectorate Master Yufeng's pupils contracted rapidly. He could sense how terrifying Lu Ming's move was. He roared and exploded with all his strength, trying to block this move. Boom. Poochie. 2 strange sounds were heard. Then, Lu Ming's figure dashed past while Zone Master Yufeng's body stiffened in the air. His face was filled with horror. Then, his body was torn apart, and his soul was destroyed. At the sight of this scene, the domain lords of the Elephant Mountain region and the Yuhan region felt a chill run from their feet to their heads. They were almost scared to death. They retreated frantically to keep a distance from Lu Ming. The zone leader is dead. The zone leader is dead. Zone leader Yufeng's subordinates were immediately thrown into chaos. They also retreated frantically, distancing themselves from Lu Ming. Did I let you go? Stop right there. Lu Ming's gaze shifted to the domain lord of the Elephant Mountain region and the domain lord of the Yuhan region. Domain Lord Xiang Shan and Domain Lord Yuhan were both shocked. They didn't dare to stay any longer and immediately turned to run. Lu Ming's eyes turned cold as he cast the 9 heavenly Kuan Peng technique. Like a Kuan Peng, he rushed toward the 2 of them and overtook them in a few moments, blocking their path. I told you to stop, did you not hear me? Lu Ming said coldly. Young hero, I don't want the ancient G.O.D.S. mountain map anymore. Take it all you want. The region lord of the Elephant Mountain region said hurriedly, his body covered in cold sweat. If Lu Ming could kill Zone Master Yufeng with 1 shot, he could also kill him with 1 shot. It would be strange if he was not afraid. Yes. I don't want it either. Young hero, please take it. Domain Lord Yuhan said hurriedly. The map of the ancient G.O.D.S. mountain is mine. Don't leave just yet. I might need you for something else. Lu Ming said coldly. As expected, Domain Lord Xiang Shan and Domain Lord Yu Han didn't dare to move. Then, Lu Ming took out the map of the ancient DS mountain and opened it. There were indeed paths leading to a mysterious place, the ancient DS mountain. I need you to follow me and find the ancient DS mountain through the map. Lu Ming said. Lu Ming was unfamiliar with the ancient DS star. Even if he had a map, it would be very troublesome to find it. It would be better to borrow the power of the Domain Lord of the Elephant Mountain region and the others to find the ancient DS mountain faster. As for bringing the Domain Lord Xiang Shan and the others along, Lu Ming did not mind. He only wanted to obtain some ancient D flowers on this trip. He did not care about Xiang Shan and the others. The eyes of the Domain Lord of the Elephant Mountain domain and the Domain Lord of the Yuhan domain lit up. They did not expect such a good thing to happen. Lu Ming wanted them to search for the ancient DS mountain together. Did it mean that they could enter it as well? At the thought of this, their eyes burned with passion. Don't worry, we'll definitely find it as soon as possible. The Domain Lord and Domain Lord Xiang Shan nodded their heads. Let's go, Lu Ming said. He left the place with Xiang Shan and the rest, not staying at the Fu clan. With the death of Region Lord Yufeng, the Fu clan's crisis would be resolved. Luck, our Fu clan is really lucky this time. That's right. I met young hero Lu Ming. He has blessed my Fu family. Young hero Lu Ming is the Fu family's greatest benefactor. We must make him into a D statue and worship him every day. Looking in the direction that Lu Ming had left, the Fu family members were extremely grateful. Chapter 2767 Many maps. Lu Ming could not be bothered to worry about what the Fu clan was thinking. In the following days, the Domain Lord of the Elephant Mountain region and the Domain Lord of the Yuhan region sent out a large number of people to search for the ancient DS mountain according to the map. After half a month of research, they had finally determined the exact location. Then, Lu Ming, the Domain Lord of the Elephant Mountain region, and the Domain Lord of the Yuhan region led a group of experts and rushed towards their destination. They didn't notice that far behind them, there was a figure following them. This person was Lezhong. According to the map, the ancient DS mountain was located in the extreme north of the ancient D star, on a deserted island in the sea of the far north. When they arrived at the deserted island, they were stunned. This was because this deserted island was completely desolate. There was no ancient DS mountain. Most importantly, there were already many people gathered here. They stood around the deserted island, looking for something. Region Lord Guanhao. Region Lord Chen. What are you doing here? The Elephant Mountain Region Lord widened his eyes and exclaimed. Because here, he saw many Domain Lords, and he recognized some of them. Xiang Shan, you're here too. It seems that you've also obtained a map of ancient DS mountain. A burly man chuckled. He was the city lord of the Thousand region. What do you mean? Did you also get the map of ancient DS mountain? The Domain Lord of the Elephant Mountain region said. Not bad. A scroll appeared in the hands of the city lord of the Thousand region. It was the same as the one that Lu Ming and the others had. This, Domain Lord Xiang Shan, Domain Lord Yuhan, and the others were dumbfounded. Are you surprised? I thought the same as you. I thought there was only one map of the ancient DS mountain. Now I know there are many. More than half of the Domain Lords are here. I'm afraid the number of people will increase. The city lord laughed. Lu Ming, the Domain Lord of the Elephant Mountain region, and the others were speechless. After so long, there were actually many maps of the ancient DS mountain. Did you find the ancient DS mountain? The Domain Lord asked again. This was what they were most concerned about. No, this place is a deserted island. Birds don't even and there's not even a single feather. The city lord said. Lu Ming's face darkened slightly. Nothing? Wouldn't that be a wasted trip? However, it was impossible to give up just like that. Immediately, they also began to search the deserted island carefully to see if there were any clues. As expected, as time went by, more people came from all directions of the deserted island. However, this arm was not made of flesh and blood. It was a piece of bone that was black in color, as if it was made of black jade. Then, Lu Ming saw a skeleton crawl out of Jing Ye's portrait. It was a skeleton that was as black as jade. Lu Ming was dumbfounded. There was actually a skeleton hidden within the startled feather painting. What was going on? Who was this skeleton? Could it be Jingyu himself? In an instant, dozens of thoughts flashed through Lu Ming's mind. Brat, don't be too surprised. I've told you that someone wants to kill you. They're already close. If you want to die, then continue to be in a daze. The skeleton continued. Lu Ming immediately collected his thoughts. As expected, he felt waves of cold aura spreading towards him. At the same time, a dark-skinned elder rapidly approached Lu Ming and a sword light stabbed at the back of Lu Ming's heart. Fast, accurate, and ruthless. It was done in one go, a one-hit kill. Furthermore, it was shockingly powerful. If not for the black skeleton's warning, Lu Ming would have been in danger. However, after the black skeleton's reminder, Lu Ming had already reacted in advance. In an instant, Lu Ming had already cast the 9-layered crimson gold armor. A layer of crimson gold armor covered his entire body. At the same time, Lu Ming quickly turned around and thrust his spear, aiming at the sword gleam. Buzz! The long spear and the sword light clashed, creating an ear-piercing collision sound, and the force spread in all directions. However, the power of the sword light was shockingly strong. The terrifying sword chi made the long spear vibrate continuously. Then, it paused, set through the long spear and headed for Lu Ming. Bang! Bang! Lu Ming's golden-red armor shook violently and was torn apart. Lu Ming's body was sent flying backward, smashing into a 100-meter-tall boulder. His body was covered with sword wounds and blood was flowing out. Fortunately, the sword gleam said through the spear and the scarlet gold armor one after another. Its power was no longer strong, and Lu Ming only suffered some superficial injuries. The dark-skinned elder was stunned that he did not manage to kill Lu Ming with one strike. He seemed to be very surprised. Who are you? Why do you want to kill me? Lu Ming stared at the dark-skinned elder and shouted coldly. This old man's strength was very terrifying. His cultivation was at peak stage 9 true G. D, and he controlled king-grade divine power. With Lu Ming's current abilities, if he were to go all out, he could fight with an ordinary 9th stage true G. However, if he were to encounter a peak 9th stage true G. D, he would most likely be no match for him. Moreover, the other party had also mastered king-grade divine power, and his abilities were far above his. Most importantly, Lu Ming did not know this old man. Kill! The dark-skinned elder did not say anything. He shouted coldly and pounced at Lu Ming like lightning. (2770 Ancient Jew. DC of flowers. The dark-skinned elder clearly did not expect Lu Ming to have such a move. He was slightly shocked. At the same time, he changed the stance of his sword and slashed at the 9th ice chain. However, when his combat sword struck the 9th ice chain, his expression changed drastically. That was because he felt an extremely terrifying chill coming toward him. It was as if it was going to freeze his blood and even his divine power. The other ice chains trembled and wrapped around the dark-skinned old man, trying to trap him to death. This brat, what a shocking technique. The dark-skinned elder was shocked. He no longer cared about hiding his identity. At this moment, he exploded with all his strength. Boom! His body erupted like a volcano. His divine power surged and attacked the coldness on his body. At the same time, sword lights burst out and swept away the ice chains. However, even if he used all his strength, it was difficult for him to maintain his disguise. His body and muscles began to change, revealing his original appearance. Lu Zhong! Lu Ming roared, his murderous intent cold. That's right. This dark-skinned elder was Lu Zhong. He had disguised himself and seemed to have cultivated some secret technique. Even his aura was hidden. Lu Ming did not recognize him at all. Lu Ming, you've really surprised me. You've actually forced me to reveal my true form. However, you still have to die. Lu shouted coldly, his eyes extremely cold. I must kill Lu Ming today, he roared in his heart. Lu Ming was too terrifying. He was so young and his cultivation was only at the first stage of true Ji, but his combat strength was so terrifying that it was hard to imagine. He was only at the first stage of the true Ji, D realm, but under his continuous attacks, he was only injured and not dead. If he didn't see it with his own eyes, he would find it hard to believe. If Lu Ming was given a period of time to grow, he would be more powerful. After some time, he was afraid that he would die in Lu Ming's hands. Therefore he had to kill Lu Ming. Kill! Lu Zhong exploded with all his strength and charged at Lu Ming. Let's go! This time, Lu Ming turned around and left. He could not be bothered to fight with Lu Zhong. With his current strength, he was indeed not Lu Zhong's match. Even if he used all his means, he would still be no match for him. Since he was no match for him, it would be too stupid to continue fighting. This old fellow, he'll kill him later. Lu Ming thought to himself. As long as he got the ancient G-O-D flower, his divine body would transform and he would be able to cultivate the battle character formula with 4 times his combat power. $2,770 ancient G-O-D's descendant, who is it? Someone shouted and looked in all directions. Then everyone was shocked. A large group of people had appeared on the cliffs of the valley. These people held large bows in their hands and stood on the cliff wall, surrounding them. Trace ba. This, sirs of ancient G. This mountain will die. On the northern cliff, there was a young man with a cold expression. He spoke coldly. You guys, are you a descendant of an ancient G-O-D? Someone exclaimed. The others were also shocked. Descendants of ancient G-O-Ds? Didn't the descendants of the ancient G-O-Ds disappear for countless years? It was said that the descendants of the ancient G-O-Ds had been exterminated, leaving only the ancient G-O-Ds mountain. Was that all fake? Could it be that the descendants of the ancient G-O-Ds had been hiding in the ancient G-O-Ds mountain all these years? Since the descendants of the ancient G-O-Ds hadn't been destroyed, why hadn't they appeared after so many years? Many people's minds were filled with questions. However, the descendants of the ancient G-O-Ds obviously wouldn't answer their questions. Kill! On the northern cliff, the young man waved his hand and gave the order. Instantly, the descendants of the ancient G-O-Ds drew their bows and knocked their arrows. One after another, arrows whistled through the air and shot toward Lu Ming and the others. After all, the ancient G-O-D flower was protected by a formation, so they weren't afraid of hurting it. People were constantly shot by the arrows and died on the spot, blood flowing all over the ground. Many of these descendants of ancient G-O-Ds had astonishing strength. Most of them were at the true G realm, and the arrows they shot out had astonishing power. Other than the domain lord level ones, no one else could block it 100%. I don't care if they're the descendants of the ancient G-O-Ds. Charge forward and kill them. Someone shouted and rushed up the cliff, attacking the descendant of the ancient G-O-D. You overestimate yourself. Get down. Get lost. On the cliff wall, some burly figures appeared. Their muscles bulged like horned dragons winding around them, full of power. The strength of these people was very shocking. The moment they attacked, the sky shook violently. Those who charged towards the cliff were all jolted down, even those at the domain lord level. Bang! Lu Ming stomped on the ground and dashed toward the eastern cliff like a long spear. Get down! A middle-aged man charged at Lu Ming and threw a few consecutive punches. The terrifying force of his punches crushed toward Lu Ming. Strong, shockingly strong. Although this middle-aged man was only in the true G.O.D realm, he had definitely reached the peak of stage 9 true G.O.D realm. Chapter 2771 Bone Demon Time slowly said, and the fog became thicker and thicker. It even started to block one's line of sight, and the power of the fog also became stronger and stronger. More and more people were melted into liquid. Strangely, the liquid quickly seeped into the ground and seemed to be absorbed by the ancient G.O.D flower. The flower became more and more beautiful. More and more people died. More than 10,000 of them had entered, but now, there were less than 5,000 left. People were dying every second. Lu Ming's body was surrounded by blood-red mist. His divine power was constantly being corroded. Fortunately, Lu Ming had the measure formula and stored a large amount of divine power. He could always maintain his divine power at its peak. However, this was not a solution. No matter how much divine power he stored, there would be a moment when he would run out. What do we do? Lu Ming quickly thought of countermeasures. Amazing, he actually set up such a large array. The descendants of the ancient G.O.D.S are very ambitious. The black skeleton spoke again. Senior, what did you see? Lu Ming asked hurriedly. Although this formation is profound, with this old man's knowledge, I can naturally see through it with one look. There's an ancient G.O.D flower planted in every eye of the formation, the black skeleton continued proudly. It's for something big. These ancient G.O.D flowers will fuse with the formation and absorb a large amount of flesh and blood to complete the formation. When that happens, the person who set up the formation will absorb everyone's ancient G.O.D flowers and condense the ancient G.O.D heart. What a vicious method. Could it be that we were able to come in because someone deliberately tricked us in? Lu Ming muttered. At this moment he thought of many things. Why did so many maps of ancient G.O.D.S mountain appear on the ancient G.O.D star at the same time? It was obvious that someone had deliberately attracted all the experts on the ancient G.O.D star. Then he would lure them here, kill them, and let the ancient G.O.D flower absorb their blood and flesh. After being reminded by the black skeleton, Lu Ming suddenly figured out everything. The reason why they could enter ancient G.O.D.S mountain was because someone had deliberately arranged it. The person who had arranged all this was the descendant of the ancient G.O.D.S. Senior, what is the ancient G.O.D.S heart? Lu Ming asked again. Let this old man tell you. These so-called descendants of the ancient G.O.D.S actually have extremely thin bloodlines. They can't even be considered descendants of the ancient G.O.D.S. Only those who have condensed the ancient G.O.D.S heart can be considered true descendants of the ancient G.O.D.S. Wait a minute, if he referred to Jingyu as that fellow, then he's not Jingyu. Lu Ming's heart suddenly skipped a beat. Previously, he had guessed that the black skeleton was Jing Ye's transformation. Junior, thanks Senior for saving me. May I know how to address Senior? Lu Ming said. You can just call me Bone Devil. The black skeleton said indifferently. Senior Bone Demon, how can I escape? Lu Ming asked. The mist from this formation is powerful, but it'll transfer some of my power to you, enough to block the mist from the outside. However, let me tell you, I don't have much power left, so don't expect me to help you if you encounter danger in the future. Bone warned. Many thanks, Senior. Lu Ming immediately expressed his gratitude. Let's talk about it after we get through the current difficulties. It's not too late to talk about the future. At this moment, the bone demon's body glowed and a jet-black energy gushed into Lu Ming's body. A layer of black light immediately emerged on the surface of Lu Ming's body, completely blocking the blood-red mist outside and isolating him from the world. Lu Ming's pressure was greatly reduced and he was relieved. However, this scene was seen by Le Zhong, who was not far away. This kid can actually completely isolate the blood-red mist. Treasure, this kid must have a treasure on him. I'm going to take it. Lu Xen roared in his heart, his eyes revealing a greedy look. He thought that Lu Ming had some kind of treasure on him that could resist the blood-colored mist outside. If he could seize it, he might be able to live. He rushed toward Lu Ming rapidly. This old fellow, Lu Ming naturally noticed Le Zhong as well. A strong murderous intent flashed in his eyes. Kid, hand over your treasures. He lowered his voice in fear of being heard by others and competing with him. Hand over your sister. That. Lu Ming shouted and attacked with all his might. All looking for death, Lu Ming cast the second move of the 3 apocalyptic strikes, Cutting Moon, and attacked Le Zhong with all his might. Le Zhong also slashed out a sword light, which collided with Lu Ming. Boom. The two of them collided. However, this time, it was Lu Zhong who retreated instead of Lu Ming. Lu Zhong's body retreated and trembled. He almost spat out a mouthful of blood. How can you use your full power? Lu Zhong roared in shock. In such an environment, he had to divert most of his power to resist the blood-red mist outside, so his combat power was naturally greatly reduced. He had thought that even if Lu Ming had a treasure to resist the blood-colored mist, it would consume a large amount of divine power to activate it and his own strength would be weakened. He had thought that it would not be a problem to take Lu Ming down. However, in the collision just now, Lu Ming was in his peak state. His combat strength was at its peak. Old man, go to kill. Lu Ming said coldly and charged towards Le Zhong. This time, he used the same move, Moon Slash. At the same time, the 9 ice chains also wrapped around Le Zhong. I don't believe it. He bellowed in the music and slashed a sword light at Lu Ming. However, after their attacks collided, Le Zhong's sword light collapsed instantly. He was sent flying by Lu Ming and coughed up a large amount of blood. The most terrifying thing was that his protective divine energy was almost shattered by Lu Ming. The blood-colored mist took advantage of the situation and broke through Le Zhong's defense, touching his body. White smoke rose from Le Zhong's body. A large piece of flesh was corroded. Lu Zhong was so scared that he turned around and ran. He was afraid. He no longer had the thought of killing Lu Ming. He only wanted to run away as soon as possible and get as far away from Lu Ming as possible. However, how could Lu Ming let him escape? The 9 ice chains wrapped around Le Zhong. Although Le Zhong resisted with all his might, he had to fight against the blood-colored mist and could not use much strength. He was bound by the chains and the terrifying chill was about to freeze him. Enit Lu Ming. Even if I die, I won't let you have an easy time. Men, this kid has a treasure that can block the blood-colored mist's attack. As long as we get this treasure, we won't die. Men, he roared in joy, his voice spreading far and wide. Instantly, many people heard it. What? Someone is controlling a treasure that can resist the blood-red mist. I must get it. This treasure is mine. Anyone who blocks me will die. Everyone was in a frenzy and they charged toward Lu Ming and the rest. The rest of the people understood that if this continued, they would die sooner or later. However, if they had a treasure that could resist the blood-colored mist, they would be able to survive. It would be strange if they didn't go crazy. You think you can kill me with this method? Since you're so stupid, they'll send you on your way. Lu Ming's cold voice was heard and he thrust his spear at Le Zhong. Le Zhong was bound by the ice chains and couldn't dodge at all. He was pierced by the spear and died. He waved his hand and kept Lu Zhong's storage ring. At that moment, the others rushed over. They realized that there was a layer of black light on Lu Ming's body that could separate the blood-colored mist. Their eyes turned red instantly. It can really block out the blood-colored mist. Kid, hand over your treasure. Everyone had a greedy look on their faces as they charged toward Lu Ming. Since you're looking for death, I'll send you on your way in advance. Lu Ming said coldly. The 9 ice chains flew out as Lu Ming cast the 3 apocalyptic strikes. After a single shot, 2 experts were killed. Those who were still alive were undoubtedly experts. Almost all of them were Domain Lord level characters. However, these people were not Lu Ming's match even at their peak. Now that they had to divert a large portion of their energy to fight against the blood-colored mist, they were no match for Lu Ming. They were completely crushed. Kill! Lu Ming's figure moved unhindered, the spear's gleam surged and the experts were killed one by one. At the same time, the 9 ice chains danced and wrapped around the experts, sealing them in ice. A Saker. It was a complete Saker. There had been more than 100 people who had charged at Lu Ming earlier. However, Lu Ming had killed them all in an instant. Not a single one was left. The storage rings of these people had also entered Lu Ming's pocket. These people were all region masters and they were definitely wealthy. Lu Ming had made a fortune. On the cliff, the descendants of the ancient DS were waiting quietly. At this moment, the fog was already very thick, and they couldn't see what was happening below. However, they still heard the sound just now. There's a treasure that can withstand the attack of the formation? Some people's gazes moved. Impossible. Even a high-quality divine artifact can't stop it. At most, it can buy us some time. If we're still going to die after a while, we'll just wait quietly. The young man on the northern side of the cliff sneered. At the bottom of the cliff, Lu Ming had killed more than 100 masters. In an instant, he was the only one left in the area. The place was deathly silent. He realized that the ancient D flowers underground had become more beautiful. Under the corrosion of the blood-colored mist, the blood and flesh of the experts who were killed by Lu Ming turned into liquid and were absorbed by the earth. What a vicious evil formation. Senior Bone Demon, this fog is blocked, but how do I get out? Lu Ming asked again. Let him go first. The head elder of the ancient D clan shouted coldly. Do you think it's possible to let him go first? Lu Ming sneered. He did not trust the other party. Kid, don't refuse a toast only to drink a forfeit. The first elder of the ancient D clan looked extremely gloomy and was filled with killing intent. Hand over the ancient D flower, remove the formation, and let me go. I'll naturally let you go. The conditions are simple. Lu Ming said coldly. The first elder's expression changed. In the end, he said determinedly, the secret of this place must not be leaked out. Wei, you can go in peace. I will avenge you. What? Upon hearing this, Lu Ming was shocked. The other party didn't care about the life and death of the young man, not even his own son. No, no, father, no, save me. The young man roared madly. Continue to activate the formation. Also, send out experts to block this man's path of retreat and prevent him from rushing out. This time, everyone who came in must die. Not a single one can be left alive. The Grand Elder of the ancient D clan gave the order. His eyes were extremely cold. Yes. The other ancient D descendants dashed toward the valley where Lu Ming and the others came from to prevent Lu Ming from escaping. In it. Lu Ming roared in his heart. His eyes were cold as he stared at the first elder of the ancient DD. If you don't even care about your own son, then I'll fulfill your wish. With a single thought, the ice chains wrapped around the young man and sent him into the blood-colored mist. Immediately, the sound of corrosion came from the young man's body, and he screamed in pain. Wei, don't worry. I'll avenge you. I'll burn this kid's bones and scatter his ashes. I'll make him die a miserable death. The Grand Elder's voice was extremely cold. This old fellow. Could it be that he's the one who set up this great formation? Lu Ming could not help but think. He could not help but suspect that it was the Great Elder of the ancient D clan who had set up this formation to condense the heart of the ancient D himself. That was why he did not care about his own son. You don't even care about your own son. I'll fulfill your wish then. Lu Ming threw the young man into the valley. The young man screamed and soon lost his breath. The first elder of the ancient D was full of murderous intent. If it were not for the fact that he was extremely wary of the blood-colored mist in the formation, he would have charged in and killed Lu Ming with a single slap. Activate the formation at full power. Let's see how long he can last. The Grand Elder of the ancient D clan ordered. Buzz. Instantly, the runes in the surroundings shone with an even more dazzling light, and the blood-colored mist in the array became even thicker. Lu Ming did not stop. In a flash, he disappeared into the fog and rushed toward the canyon that he had come from. However, when he arrived, he found that the outside of the formation was surrounded by experts of the ancient D descendants. What a miscalculation, Lu Ming muttered. This time, he had really miscalculated. He had not expected the first elder of the ancient D clan to be so cruel that he would not even care about the life and death of his own son. Initially, he had planned to take the young man as a hostage and exchange him for some ancient D flowers before leaving. Otherwise, Lu Ming might have succeeded if he had sneaked out of the valley from the beginning. But now it was too late. The other side was surrounded by a large number of experts. If he were to attack from here, he would definitely die. I can only change my direction. Lu Ming dodged into the mist again and rushed toward another valley. There were a total of 8 valleys here, and no one knew where the other 7 led to. Lu Ming randomly picked one. When he was close to the array, the 9th ice chain flew out and spun continuously with the head of the chain as the core. Bang! The light shield of the formation was immediately broken and Lu Ming rushed out. Naturally, there were descendants of ancient DS guarding this place. Lu Ming was discovered the moment he rushed out. This brat is here. Stop him. Kill. The descendants of the ancient DS charged toward Lu Ming. However, there were not many people here because most of them had gone to the valley that Lu Ming and the rest had entered from. There were only 7 or 8 people here. The 3 apocalyptic strikes, moon cutting. Lu Ming used all his strength to cast the 3 apocalyptic strikes. A crescent-shaped attack was launched. Boom, boom. Among these 7 to 8 descendants of ancient DS, the strongest was only at the 8th-stage true D realm. Lu Ming broke through their defense in an instant and rushed out. If Lu Ming were to use the same tactic and use the young woman as a hostage to force the other party to let him go, the other party might want to fight to the death again. If that was the case, he would definitely die in such an environment. The only thing he could do now was to take a step back. Who said him leaving the ancient mountain? I told you not to chase after me. Stop here. Do you understand? Lu Ming said coldly. He led the young woman and retreated slowly. As expected, the great elder of the descendants of the ancient D did not pursue him. He watched as Lu Ming slowly walked away. First elder, are we not going to chase? Someone asked. Let this kid leave first. This is ancient DS mountain and he can't get out. Let's stabilize him first so that third lady doesn't get hurt. Also, inform the patriarch of this place immediately so that he can send more powerful warriors to kill that kid. The Grand Elder instructed. Yes. The other descendants of the ancient DS started to move. Lu Ming flew with the young woman. He heaved a sigh of relief when he realized that no one was chasing after them. Lu Ming specially flew towards a remote area. After flying for a while, Lu Ming found a hidden canyon and flew in. "You outsider, let me go or my father won't let you off." The young woman called out. "Is your father the clan leader of the descendants of the ancient DS?" Lu Ming asked. "Not bad. Now that you're afraid, let me go, you despicable and shameless outsider." The young woman glared at Lu Ming. As expected, she is the daughter of the clan leader, a descendant of an ancient Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. No wonder the descendants of the ancient DS were so afraid. He sighed at his good luck to have met the daughter of the clan leader of the descendants of ancient DS. Otherwise, he would not have been able to escape. "Stay here. Otherwise, it'll make you suffer." Lu Ming cast a cold glance at the young woman. If you want to kill me, then kill me. You're a vicious person, I'm not afraid of you." The young woman widened her eyes and glared at Lu Ming as if she was not afraid of death. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.